All right. I think I should be live. Let me go ahead and send this out to the world on the old Twitter. Yes. Wow, it really takes a while to go live after it tells you go live. It's like you're live, and apparently it's still like 10 seconds before it shows you guys anything. So I will check the chat in one moment. That should hopefully be what I want. Let's check here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let me get rid of these. See if anyone. Hey, there's people. What's up, guys? PG number one and Robert Guayardo. Sorry if I said that wrong, man. Michael Joy, T. Homer Simon, and Rufus. What's up, guys? How goes? What a day. What a day. I thought it would be a good idea to stream because I've mentioned it a couple times. I'm on PTO this week. I had PTO to burn, left over from last year. So I'm burning it this week. It turns out to be a good week to not have to be doing a whole lot of responsible stuff, obviously. Kind of a scary, scary week, unfortunately. And since I had the time, it's like, well, I might as well do some live streams. And I feel like streaming today is good because, it's kind of scary out there. So maybe just chatting to somebody about life or the world or video games or whatever could just be like good, make people feel good. Just remind people that the world goes on and people are doing normal things and trying to enjoy things that they like doing. Like for me, like playing video games, talking about video games, and doing YouTube. It's just good to see that stuff. Not that we shouldn't be paying attention and not to downplay the seriousness of what's going on because the reality is it is pretty serious, unfortunately, guys. But as I said in my last video before the Animal Crossing unboxing, I don't think it's irresponsible to still allow yourself some escapism, right? And so, anyway, maybe just chatting with me for an hour or so can hopefully make you guys feel better. So it makes me feel better. I don't mind telling you guys that. I certainly feel better. Let's see what's going on. Great Animal Crossing video today. Can't wait till next Friday. Yeah, man. That was a lot of fun to do. I appreciate you saying that. That was a lot of fun. My girlfriend Emily was very excited, A, to get the Switch, and then B, of course, to do the video. She had a whole lot of fun doing it, and so did I. Red 8 says, the day fucked me up. First, my home country shuts down because of Corona. I guess you might be in Italy. Now Kyle Bossman is leaving Easy Allies. Really? I can't deal with all these changes. Wow, I didn't hear about Kyle Bossman. I haven't watched those guys in a while, but I like Kyle Bossman. Yeah, hit that like button. Thanks so much, Michael. Yeah, Red, that sucks, man. Are you totally shut down? I'm curious what you can tell me about where you are and what's going on. Pretty crazy. I think we're gonna make it through everything okay, you guys. Not like I'm an expert on this topic, but I just have a feeling in my gut that it's gonna be rough for a couple months, but I think we're gonna come out okay on the other side of it. Um, just my gut feeling. I'm pretty tuned into things like that in the world. I don't know. It's like a sixth sense that I have. So, um, what's up, KT? What's up, Electro? Michael says my school and my sport both got canceled. This is crazy. Well, dude, yeah. So my girlfriend, Emily, who you guys now know, which is so crazy, she's a teacher. She teaches young kids like 3 years old or so. And today there she got word that there's a pretty darn good chance that they're going to shut down. We're in the Pacific Northwest, you guys. We're in Washington State. We're a couple of hours away from Seattle, which was obviously one of the big kind of hotspots here in the US, unfortunately, and then also California as well. And so we're kind of sandwiched between these areas. Oregon, I actually work in Oregon, believe it or not. Oregon, I think, closed schools for 6 weeks last week. And then, or no, maybe Seattle shut for 6 weeks. And then I think maybe Oregon shut down for 2 weeks as of last week. And since she's a teacher in a school, also, we kind of knew it was coming. And so we kind of expect that to happen. So, anyway, yeah, Kyle just announced it. Man, I love Kyle Bossman. I super, super love Kyle Bossman. In UK, rocking back and forth with a toothache. No, oh, dude, Marky Mark. Oh, man, a toothache. Bro, I've had 2 serious toothaches in my life. One was last year. First one led to me actually losing a molar. I don't have a molar back here on the back. Second one was a root canal I had on the other tooth next to that one last year. So there is nothing worse than a toothache. The worst pain known to man. It would cripple the Incredible Hulk, you guys. A toothache? Bro, Marky Mark, man, I hope you go get that looked at, man. Please, please go get that looked at. It is so worth it to get that looked at. Oh man, yeah. Tijeru says, I'm upset about the NHL being shut down. Me too, man. I had a good feeling about my team making it to the Stanley Cup this year. Oh, who's your team? I'm an Avalanche fan, of course. We're from Colorado. And Avalanche have been looking pretty good. So I'm very sad about the NHL. NBA sucks too. I'm not really a basketball fan, but it's crazy what happened with the NBA. Yo, how's it going? One more week till Doom 64, says Mighty Ryan. Yeah, I'm excited for Doom 64 and also obviously excited for Doom Eternal. I mean, come on. How amazing is that going to be? Will be on her sweet new Switch. But I'm going to be playing Doom Eternal. I am super excited. Yeah, I'm sad Kyle's leaving, says Brendan. So why is Kyle leaving, you guys? I could just Google it, but I'm just going to ask you guys. You guys are my Google. Why is Kyle Bossman leaving Easy Allies? He was so funny back in the day. Oh, Pittsburgh Penguins. One of my coworkers on my leadership team with me at my job, he's a huge Penguins fan. And yeah, you guys have looked pretty darn good. Same with the Avalanche. So damn it. Speaking of teeth, I know this sounds unbelievable because I'm only 34, but I got 5 teeth removed last week, actually. We'll get implants. Wow, Red, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm a couple years older than you. And like I said, I've have one missing tooth back here. So remember, go to the save room, guys. Yeah. I keep wanting to read. Some people are typing the word of the thing out there. And it's like, I know that YouTube said that they're not demonetizing things, but I don't think that's true. And I already ran into something with one of my videos. So I don't want to read the word, but nickname my says, CV at Nintendo. Did you hear of that? And no, I did not hear of that because a couple of weeks ago, Nintendo, at least Nintendo of America, I should say, I know sent all of their employees home to work from home, which is a great advantage. I personally am very lucky that I can work from home. And I think that starting next week, I'm assuming that I will be full-time at home for a while. I typically do half my week at home and half in the office. And so with Nintendo, I mean, that's the thing is this thing isn't a thing that you can just like, oh, it's kind of getting bad, so let's send people home now. The problem with it is that once you feel like you need to make the decision to do something like that, it's probably already been around for a couple of days or weeks. And so it's almost, I hate to say it, but too late in some ways. So Red says Kyle is pursuing his main goal in life. He said he doesn't know exactly what it is, but he's going to leave LA. Have you ever seen Box Peak? He's done an amazing job. I don't know what that Box Peak is. And interesting, so that just means Kyle's probably ready to step away from the gaming YouTube thing and maybe just do something more like a career. And that's great. I respect that. It's one of the, I'm somebody who doesn't want to do YouTube full time. So I totally get that. Hi, Robin Chet. What's up, EZLO21? Eslo. Is it? Oh, it's Eslo. Duh. Is that? Yeah, because you have a Minish Cap thing. So Eslo. I guess he wants new experiences. That's what he said in his Patreon post. That's crazy. Do you believe Entourage rumor? I don't know what that says. Do you believe rumor that a direct could happen on the 26th or just more nonsense on social media? I mean, isn't it kind of both when it comes to that? I mean, at this point, every week we go without a Nintendo Direct, it means any other week you're going to predict in the future just makes more and more sense because sometime between now and the end of time, Nintendo is going to give us another Nintendo Direct. Is it before E3? Is it at E3? Do they postpone them all year and wait till next year? I mean, they're going to do it. And so predicting the 26th means that it's probably people just picking a random Thursday, the first Thursday after Animal Crossing, which I talked about in my last video. And so it makes sense in the sense that, yes, I do think Nintendo's waiting for Animal Crossing to come and go. And so maybe the first Thursday afterward makes the most sense, but man, you never know. Mighty Ryan says Nintendo pulled out of 2020. Man, you don't know how true that feels right now. That's a really good way to phrase it. Nintendo's like, no more 2020 for us. We'll see you guys next year. Hey, man, maybe that means they can just put more people on Metroid Prime 4 and actually get that game done before 2022, Schools are closed where I am. My midterm exam as a programmer is canceled and I am forced to work from home. Germany is basically shutting down. Okay, so you're in Germany. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, you're in Europe, man. That's where it's the craziest. Hey, what's up, Jason? Yeah, Europe is definitely where it's craziest. We all pulled out of 2020. Yeah, Lizard Lord, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Still can't believe E3 is happening, says Electro. Yeah, I mean, again, and everyone's already said this, like E3, the show floor is not happening. And I said this on my video. I think that is the right call for one thing. So first and foremost, I do think it's good that E3 is not happening, at least the show floor. But we're already starting to get words and messages and pictures from people about what they're planning to do, and we're apparently going to see quite a few digital events. I think E3 is planning something. Microsoft confirmed something. Ubisoft is working on something. We can all expect Nintendo to do their normal thing. And I think we're going to see more of that. Bethesda, I'm sure, will do something. They've got enough time now, what, 3 months or whatever, to put something together to just make live the week of E3 if they want, or even just the month of June. I'm just a little worried because I have requested some time off. Like I'm taking that week off. I always do take it off from work. And now it's like, well, is that going to be a wasted week unless they actually do all that stuff at the same time? Did you play the new Ori game? It's really great so far. Yes, Red 8. I am playing it currently. I was playing it this morning, ran an errand. I'm online with you guys, and I will be playing it more once I get offline. It is amazing, you guys. Ori and the Will of the freaking Wisps. You know what? Here's the thing, too. That game is a masterpiece on its own, just in its own bubble. But what I've really enjoyed about playing it this week, especially because I have time off to do so, is I think that game and the vibe of that game and the look of that game and the music and sound of that game is just what I need right now in the wake of the health situation that we're all dealing with, because it's just kind of like uplifting and it's just this really pretty music and you're in these beautiful areas and it's just got an ambience and a vibe that's just really positive and uplifting for me. And so it feels like such a great break in the noise that is the world right now to turn on Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And I want to know, Red, if you agree, because you're playing it, or anyone else who's playing it, it feels like the perfect break because there is so much noise in the world right now. And it's important noise. It's noise we should be listening to and paying attention to. Do not get me wrong. But it's good to take breaks. It's good to give yourselves a moment of levity. And a game like Ori, it just couldn't have come out in at the more perfect time, because when I turn it on and I just hear it and I see it, I'm just like, this is right where I want to be right now. It's so peaceful and I love it. Thoughts and Players says it reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight. Yeah, I mean, the first story came out before the first Hollow Knight, remember? And they're both, Metroidvania types of games. Hollow Knight is awesome. I love that game. I am so pumped for Silksong. And if you're a fan of that and haven't played the Ori games, you have to do it. Personally, I think the Ori games are far and away much, much better than Hollow Knight. And so if you already like Hollow Knight, you're going to love Ori. And vice versa. If you've played Ori, but you haven't played Hollow Knight, what are you doing? You got to play that game. Hollow Knight is great. No, see, T. Drew says looks like Ori took cues from Hollow Knight. Definitely not. Hollow Knight took cues from Ori. Ori and the Blind Forest was 2014, I think. And then Hollow Knight was 2017 or 18. So Ori absolutely did it before Hollow Knight. There's nothing wrong with that. Hollow Knight's amazing. I mean, they both took everything from Metroid. So let's be real. Metroid is the real innovator here. And also, by proxy, Castlevania quite a bit. And so, yeah, definitely play Ori and Hollow Knight if you like those kinds of games. Red says, I prefer Hollow Knight because of the lore and characters, but I love the atmosphere in Ori. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're both great. I will tell you the one thing that actually, I'll retract this. Here is the one thing that I think Ori and the Will of the Wisps did take from Hollow Knight. And that's the fact that Ori and the Will of the Wisps has introduced NPCs and all these different characters that make maps for you and sell you things and upgrade your stats. And you have all these skill trees and stuff. And that was not in the first Ori, but it was in Hollow Knight. And so it does kind of seem like maybe they borrowed that element from Hollow Knight, even though that existed before Hollow Knight too. So, every game inspires other games. It just is what it is. Gotta check my phone in case my girlfriend calls or texts. I'm expecting my girlfriend might leave work early, so Just trying to be aware if she has to call me. What's up, Jono? How you doing, man? You a good man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Have I messed around in Dreams yet? No, that is not a game for me. I think it's awesome what Dreams is and what it allows you to do, but that just I don't even like Mario Maker, you guys. I don't want to make anything. If I pay you a video game company for your video game, you better have made everything for me. It's like if I go to a restaurant and I pay them for a meal, but then I have to go into their kitchen and cook it myself. Screw you, man. I gave you 20 bucks. Make me this burger, please. Like, that's what I paid you for. And so I'm not paying Nintendo for me to make Mario games, and I'm not paying Sony for me to make whatever Dreams lets me do. I'm paying you guys to do it and give it to me. That's just me. However, the tools that Mario Maker and Dreams are, tools for creating gaming, is awesome. It's a great way to seek out new talent and hire people to be developers. And what Dreams allows people to do has blown my mind. So I respect the hell out of it, but I have zero interest in experiencing it. It's just, what am I going to do with that game? Nothing. I mean, not only am I not interested in making stuff, I don't even think I have the skill to do it, you guys. And I definitely don't have the patience. So that's just my opinion. A remake of Mother series would be great, says Archer. Yeah, people really like Mother and Earthbound. I'm not into it, but man, people love their Earthbound, so they should do something with it. I agree. Gotta go play Apex with a friend now. Going to distract me from this weird day. Have a good day. Yeah, later, Red. Good luck, man. Be safe out there. Rob's eating some expensive burgers. I mean, yeah, I guess it's $20 is expensive for a burger. If you go to like a Red Robin, I guess you pay like 12 bucks for like a burger and a plate of fries, right? I don't even really eat much of that kind of food anyway. So Kieran says, if Breath of the Wild sequel is not this year's holiday game, what do you think it could be? If it's not Breath of the Wild, which I don't expect, my big hope is that it's Pikmin 4. I don't think Pikmin 4 is this perfect foil for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but is it a game I think worthy of being the Switch's big holiday title? Yeah, I do think it's at least that. Not to mention, I firmly feel the PS5 and Xbox might get delayed, you guys. I really think it's going to happen unless this situation turns around right quick. And I mean before, midsummer. I think that they're going to get delayed, you guys. They just are. The DS had quite a few GTAs. Yeah, they had the Chinatown game. Eslo says I've given up on Pikmin 4. What? No, it's happening. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I understand the reason you might want to give up, and I get it, but man, I think it's going to happen. Even if it's not this year, I think it's going to happen. Dr. Mario remake featuring the word I don't want to say. I'm personally betting. Oh yeah, Mario Kart 9 actually is another one. Says Lizard Lord. I do think Mario Kart 9 could happen as a surprise, and I do think even a new Mario game could happen as a surprise. Xenosaga remake, doubtful. Odyssey 2 maybe could be Switch Holiday, says Jono. Yeah, I mean it could be. I hope it's not Odyssey 2 though. I like Odyssey, but I think it's a smidge overrated. So I would hope they would do a new game. But I would still be happy with Odyssey 2, and I think that's a great holiday game, obviously. Is Odyssey 2. Let me look at some real quick, you guys. Hold up. Let me check. Let me do this. Let me go here. This stream already got demonetized, probably because I said the C word in the first 5 minutes. Oh my god, that's so lame. That's not what I'm checking, but I just happened to see that happened. That's so weak. What was I coming? Oh yeah, I wanted to look at this real quick. Okay, cool. Man, YouTube is so on it. And you know what's annoying is the fact that they're trying to tell people that they're not demonetizing for talking about it. And it's like, I knew that wasn't true. I knew it wasn't true. And apparently it's not true. I know it's not really on your radar game, but what are your thoughts about Skull and Bones? Asks my good friend Jason. Nah, nothing. Not interested. Doesn't do anything for me. Paper Mario, that could happen. 3D World port, yeah. Okay, 3D World port, I expect to happen this year, but that's not going to be their holiday game. And if so, man, Nintendo, don't do that, Nintendo. Please. Pikmin 3 porn is coming first. It might, which is a bummer. Miyamoto's put Pikmin to rest, much like many other games. I love Miyamoto for what he's done, but I also dislike a lot of things he stood in front of. No, I don't think that's true. I think that they started Pikmin 5. Listen to me. Pikmin 4, they worked on it. It's been delayed. They've never talked about it beyond that for some reason, but I think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to just let it go. Later, Michael. Later, man. I have a gut feeling we're going to see a new 3D Mario. Yeah, me too. And you definitely think Paper Mario will be announced. I do think it's possible. I'm not like definite on Paper Mario, but I do believe it's possible. Marky Mark says Wave Race remake. I would love. I mean, just a sequel. I don't necessarily want a remake. I mean, why remake it when you can just make a brand new one? But I would be fine with anything. Sergeant Crack says, "Would you be down for a Warrior style Metroid game?" Yeah, that'd be fine. The only reason I'd be cool with that because like, oh, a war like a Metroid Warriors or whatever is like definitely a spin-off title, right? If it ever existed, it's a spin-off. And normally that could be a problem if we weren't getting other Metroid games. But, to be consistent in a world where a new Metroid game is being made, I don't really mind if you do a spin-off game. And so we know we're getting Metroid Prime 4. It's delayed, but what are you going to do? That's an unusual circumstance, but at least it's coming. And so I know Nintendo's hard at work at a Metroid Prime 4, a real Metroid game. So yeah, you want to make a spin-off Metroid Warriors? That's fine. It's something to just kind of, quench my thirst a little bit until the real game shows up. I'd be okay with it. It's not my first choice, but I wouldn't be like super opposed to it. Ian says, I want Other M Definitive Edition. Yeah, so do I. You and I might be the only ones, but I would love to see it. I think Other M is a fine game. It's a fine, fine game. I think the next 3D Mario game is going to be for Nintendo's next gen console, not on Switch. Very possible, Kieran. That's not wrong either. I mean, to me, it's 50-50. Either they get one more out on the Switch or they wait till the next one. And I firmly believe that there's a good chance Nintendo is waiting with a lot of their biggest franchises to release them on their next console. Because they would, I mean, imagine if their next console has another amazing lineup like the Switch did, and feasibly the first year of the next gen machine could have a Metroid Prime 4 and a Pikmin 4 and a Breath of the Wild 2, a brand new Mario game, a Mario Kart 9. Like, they could feasibly get a bunch of those games out in the first year if they just wait. And so, is that the right or wrong call? I don't know, but I do think it's possible. So, I think it's worth considering. Basically, Nintendo Directs, but Xbox, PlayStation Direct. I'm not sure. I mean, it sounds like you're just talking about E3. Hey, fan from Stockholm. Hey, what's up? Mulia? Mula? What's up? Stockholm, Sweden here. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's a holiday game, going to be a new IP. Hey, how crazy would that be? I'd love a new IP. Advanced Wars Switch Edition, says Electro. Yeah, I wasn't a big Advanced Wars guy, but it's a very popular thing, so I'd love to see it happen. Oh, dude, Mighty Ryan, you gave a super chat. Dude, thank you so much for that super chat. And you have a question. If Atari VCS is still coming out this year, would you be interested in getting one? Doubtful. Partly because of all the bad press and their nonsense that they've gone through. But also because I just don't know what the value of it is yet, if it's supposed to play like new games as well as have a classic Atari lineup, it's like that's kind of cool. But here's the thing, like I'm somebody who grew up in the Atari age, you guys. My first console ever was the Atari 2600 and I was playing that before there was an NES, okay? I mean, I was born in 1980. So when I was 3 and 4 years old, I was playing Atari 2600 and even beyond the NES, we still played it. So I have a lot of experience with that era of gaming. And man, it's great for a novelty, but you don't really get much out of it now, man. no one's going to be playing those games very seriously for long periods of time, with the rare exception. And so I just don't think there's much value in that if that's the main focus of your device. And I think that's the main focus of the VCS. I know it's supposed to run Linux, so maybe it's also supposed to be something that people can put games onto. I don't know how to do any of that crap, so that has no value to me. If it had like an Atari Jaguar Virtual Console or something, I maybe would like it for that reason. But I also have a Jaguar and a Jaguar CD and a ton of games, and I still buy stuff for it because I just love that console. So it's like I just don't really need it, you know? But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the VCS. I think it's a curious case. And I mean, I want to love the name that is Atari because I grew up with it and it's such a relevant, important name and business to everything that happened in gaming's history. But the current Atari we know is not the real Atari. And the VCS doesn't seem to be worth a damn. So I just don't know. I'm open to it, but I'm not excited for it right now. Rob says, you look like you're 27, not 39. Well, thank you. I am 39. 39 years old. In fact, I turned 40 this year. But I keep myself young. I eat well, I'm active, and I'm pretty happy. I'm not very stressed in life. And man, nothing ages you more than stress, let me tell you. Yeah, DW says VCS is a scam. I mean, it basically is, you know. I'm waiting for them to prove me wrong, and I'm open to it, but it's obviously a scam. What's up, Major Blazer? I love you too. Thanks so much. What are your thoughts on Sega right now, Rob? I mean, I love Sega. So obviously I grew up on Sega as well. We had a Sega Genesis. My buddy had a Master System. We had a Dreamcast. We had a Sega CD even, you know? So I like Sega. They make some pretty decent games, but they're not really super active right now. I wish they were still in the console business. Holy crap. Lumen Witch gave a $20 super chat. Wow, that is so cool. Thank you so much. That is amazing. What a gift. Okay, but you can come to my town in Animal Crossing. Okay. I'll have my girlfriend do it. Maybe when her and I are playing together, I'll have her visit your town, man. Or like I'm sorry, I don't know if you're male or female, but I just wow, so cool. Thank you so much. And we will experience some Animal Crossing with you. How would you feel about a new 2D Metroid in the style of 2D Zelda games? Oh, of course. Oh, well, you mean like top down? Um, I mean, I'm open to it, man. Again, they're making a regular Metroid Prime 4. So as far as Metroid goes, I'm willing to accept a lot. We can't forget that I have to support my favorite YouTuber, says Lumen Witch. Thank you. I'm so like, so indebted to you. It's very cool. I appreciate the support. It does not go unnoticed, I promise you. We're talking about, a 2D Metroid. So here's the thing. When it comes to a spinoff, like I said, when Federation Force was announced, everyone was pissed about that. And the reason people were pissed about it is because we were waiting for Metroid. It was in the middle of the Wii U era. Everyone still thought a Metroid was going to come to the Wii U because, duh, why would Nintendo not bring a new Metroid to their current machine? And we never got it. We never got it. We never got it. It was 5 years since Other M came out. And then we finally hear from Metroid for the first time in half of a decade. And they give us a spin-off multiplayer 3DS game. Nothing for the Wii U, nothing that even featured frickin' Samus. So that game was a problem because it released and was announced during a Metroid drought. Nowadays, we got Samus Returns just 2.5 years ago, and we know they're making a new Metroid Prime game. So Nintendo's treating Metroid with respect again. So if they want to experiment between now and then with a Metroid Warriors or a top-down 2D 8-bit Metroid retro game, cool. They're either going to be good or bad, but they don't phase me because I just played Samus Returns and I know I'm going to play Metroid Prime 4 soon. Well, soon, a couple years. So it's like, yeah, sure. I don't mind that. If that makes sense to you guys, that's kind of my perspective on all that. Tell me if that makes sense, the way I kind of lay it out there. Jono says, I'm already 40 heading into our twilight years, bud. Yeah, I feel you, man. But you know what? It's not so bad. Clocked it. What's up, buddy? This really is the perfect time for you, man. You guys are probably eating dinner. Where's Emily? Rule of 2 has a whole new meaning now. Your solo live stream are so yesterday without her. Yeah, it's true. I'll tell her you said that. She's actually working. That's what she's doing right now. She's at work. I'm on vacation. But it's also, you probably missed this at the beginning, man, but more than likely, this will be her last day of work for a couple of weeks. She's a teacher. Schools have been shutting down around us for a couple of weeks. So we expect that she's already kind of heard that's going to happen. She might not be working for the next couple of weeks. So this is probably her last day. Luckily, I make pretty good money. We have a lot of money saved up. So we're going to be okay if she doesn't work, but it's not going to be great. So we'll see how that goes. But it was really fun to do the Animal Crossing stuff. She had a lot of fun doing that. Who doesn't love the spinoff, says Lumen Witch. I mean, a lot of people don't like spinoffs. I don't mind them in most cases, but a lot of people don't like them. I mean, Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors are spinoff games. Zelda Four Swords is a spinoff game. Zelda Triforce Heroes is a spinoff game. Federation Force is a spinoff game, and there's a million other ones. I won't miss you, Rob, but we want more Emily. Oh man, she's gonna take over the channel. I have to tell her everyone's a big fan. That's really funny. She will get a kick out of that, guys. Lumen Witch says, "Are you going to play Bravely Default 2?" Honestly, yeah, I think I will. I'm not a huge RPG or JRPG fan. A lot of you guys hear me say that a lot, and I'm not. I don't hate them, and I've enjoyed some, but I'm not really a big fan. But I did play a little bit of the first Bravely Default. I thought it was pretty cool, and I loved Octopath Traveler. Loved, loved, loved that game. And so it's the same team, and it's going to be one of the new exclusive Switch games that we have this year. So yeah, I plan on playing it. Mula says work is shut down in Sweden. We still get paid our salary as usual. That is great to hear. I know that right out here in the States, they're trying to figure out how to handle that stuff here. And I don't think it's going to go as successfully for us here as it did for you. I don't want to get political, but I'm not really a fan of really those in charge out here. So I don't expect a lot of that to work out very well. I can work from home. So that's my plan. Oh, Jason, dude, you donated $5. Thank you, man. I'm going to have to buy you I don't know, something next time we hang out. Because I know you in person, but thank you for donating. He said, even though I'm turning 37 this month, aside from a few old man breaks, I feel younger than I did in my 20s. Yeah, well, because Jason, you and I, we're active and we keep in shape. My buddy Jason, you guys, Jackamak there, he's like a bodybuilder. I mean, like borderline, not professional, because I know you don't do it for a living, but like dedicated. So when you're in good shape and you're not stressed in life, it just keeps you feeling young, right, Jason? I mean, you know this. You and I, we're in our late 30s, but we don't look or act or seem very old. Also, neither of us are very tall. I think that helps. I don't know, Jason. I mean, Jason, we established you're like what, an inch taller than me, I think. 5'9", 5'10". And it's like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but not being very tall, people just kind of assume you're not really that you're just not that old. So exactly. Nerd for life. Yeah, man. What's happening, fish? Fish. What's happening today? Just talking. Major Blazer asked if I've ever played Last of Us Online. I haven't. My brother loves it, but I don't really need it. I don't really want that in my Last of Us experience. I just want the stories. Tijeru says the state of Colorado isn't compensating teachers for schools being shut down. Is that true? I mean, you guys know I'm from Colorado. My girlfriend and I both are from Colorado. We have friends out there. One of our friends is a teacher. I wonder if that's true. I should ask her if she's heard that. Huh. Wow. Today was the first day I went to Target earlier this morning. It was the first day that the toilet paper shelves were mostly empty, not entirely empty, but mostly empty. Funnily enough, my girlfriend and I saw this coming for weeks, you guys. So my girlfriend and we went shopping about a month ago. I mean, not too long after the first cases here in the States, in Seattle, which again is only a few hours away from us. And I was like, it's gonna happen. So let's just go shopping and let's just get some stuff in case we have to stay home for a couple of weeks at a time. And it wasn't a panic, it wasn't crazy. No one was worried about anything. And I was like, it's coming, man. It happened to China, it's happening in Europe, and it's gonna happen here. And I probably got demonetized because I said China. God, YouTube, you're so dumb. But yeah, and so we already have like some food, and we even did buy toilet paper like a month ago. But it's just really funny that now it's just it's happening, you guys. It's happening. But we're gonna be okay. Lumen Witch says you were 4 when Minish Cap came out. Oh my god, that makes me feel so old. I was probably 20. When did that come out? Early 2000s, right? Game Boy Advance. I was probably 22 or 23 or whatever. Oh, you're in Washington. I thought you're in Colorado. So I was in Colorado. My girlfriend and I are from Colorado, but we moved out to Washington, Oregon, and Washington a couple years ago. But we still go back to Colorado every year. It's still home to us, Colorado, but we're not there now. No. Um, to monetize for saying toilet paper, maybe that's what did it. Is it the toilet paper YouTube? Is that what it is? You got something against TP? People wiping their bungholes, you're not okay with it? You don't get to get paid for talking about it? I wonder if I can request a view while I'm live. I guess I can. There, I just requested a review. It doesn't I mean, excuse me, it doesn't matter if it's I don't really, like, super care if it's demonetized, but it's funny that in the first 5 minutes of this stream, I got demonetized. YouTube is like crazy. It's funny that they don't incentivize people to talk about something when it's important. They decentivize. It's like, oh, something important's going on that people should probably hear about, know about. Well, we don't want you talking about it. Let's keep people in the dark. What the hell? I mean, I don't do this for a living, so I don't need to be incentivized by money to do it, but I just find it crazy the way YouTube operates. They're so backwards. Man, at least I remember when Banjo Tooie comes out. Yeah, that was a great game. Where I work, they are not closing down because of the thing. We are braving it. Well, hey, good for you guys. Be safe and be smart, but that's good. You know, the more people can carry on like everything's okay and life can continue, the better we'll be. Again, within the bounds of being smart and safe, because in no way, shape, or form do I think that this is something to not pay attention to. It is. It is important. But also, you know, doing regular things, even like a live stream here, I think is good and it's healthy for people. So you got to find a balance. Hey, what's up, Joey? How's it hanging? It's hanging. Kazooie nuts and bolts. Oh, yeah, that was on the 360. If you hate YouTube, move to Nebula. Simple, but nowhere. I don't know what that is. Devil Luke. I don't know what that is. Only a limited number of people can talk about the C word on YouTube right now, too. Yeah, that makes sense. It's stupid. Does Metroid Prime 4 need to be the greatest Metroid yet for the future of the series? Asks Wizard Ninja. Great question. And I would say no, it does not. I'm not a believer in new iterations of anything, you know, a sequel to a video game, a sequel to a movie, a whatever. The newest entry of a thing never has to be the best to still be good. Okay, so a good example for me is Star Wars movies, even though it's tricky right now because I did not like the last Star Wars movie. I did not like Rise of Skywalker. It's the first and only Star Wars movie I don't like. Even though some of them are low on my list, basically all the Disney ones, I've still liked them. And so in general, it's like, you know, Force Awakens comes out, and it's like, that's a really good movie. That's a good Star Wars movie, and it's a good movie. But it wasn't better than The Empire Strikes Back or Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi, you know? But who cares? Did it have to be better than those to be a good Star Wars movie? No, of course not. That's crazy. And I feel that way with games. And so to me, Metroid Primes 2 or 3 are not as good as Metroid Prime 1, but they're still really great and some of my favorite games of all time. And they were good for the Metroid franchise. So Sebastian says The Last Jedi is greater than The Force Awakens, way, way, way better than Rise of Skywalker. Let's fight, people. Hey, good for you, man. I am in the camp of liking The Last Jedi. I don't love The Last Jedi. It's not a masterpiece like some of the very staunch defenders want to claim it to be. It's a flawed movie and a flawed story for sure. But it is pretty damn good. And the best parts of it are some of the best parts of Star Wars, without question. And I'll tell you what, my appreciation for the movie shot up by leagues once I saw The Rise of Skywalker. And I was like, that's how they attempted to end this? Get out of here, man. No way. And I was like, man, Rise of Skywalker, which is a soulless, vapid movie and story that makes me feel nothing inside, which is counterpoint to the first 8 Star Wars movies. Even the Disney Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I still felt something when I watched them. And I was willing to compare them to the original 6 and how they all fit together. And then The Rise of Skywalker comes out and I was like, I feel dead inside. There was nothing to that movie. It is the most one-dimensional nonsense. And because of that, I was able to look back at Last Jedi, which is my least favorite of the rest of the movies, and be like, man, I already like the movie, but I like it a hell of a lot more when I see what Rise of Skywalker did. My appreciation just went up. And so it's a good movie. And so good for you for liking it. One of my best friends in the world loves that movie. I think it is his favorite because he's a huge Ryan Johnson fan. And that's great. It's a good Star Wars movie. It's worthy of being it's worthy of being a movie that somebody loves. I'll say that. I think it's worthy of being a movie that somebody loves. Did you feel good? Fish says, "Did you feel good when Luke drank the titty milk?" Nope, I sure did not. That was one of the biggest mistakes. I know what they were going for, and I do think conceptually it was a fine concept. I know what they were trying to tell us about Luke's character in that moment, and I get it. But man, that was not good. It wasn't good. Bad choice. That's a great question. Oh my god. What's your take on The Mandalorian? I can't wait. You know what? I have a controversial take on The Mandalorian. I think it's okay. I think it's just okay. People think that it's this great thing and it's the savior of Star Wars and it's the best thing happening in the Disney era. I mean, I guess I can't agree. I haven't seen Clone Wars season 7 yet because my girlfriend needs to catch up and I'm so excited. And I know that's going to be the best thing Disney has made because Dave Filoni was involved with it, which is almost like having George Lucas involved with it. Putting that aside, I think still The Force Awakens is the best thing Disney's done, the very first thing they made. Mandalorian's good, but it's also kind of shallow. I don't really care much about the story or the characters. There's not much it's not very deep. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It just looks like Star Wars. And so that's fine. That doesn't make it bad. And I'm definitely curious to see where it goes next season. Like I want it to continue. It's not hurting anything, but I think people are just a little blind. They're a little blinded by Baby Yoda to be able to see the Mandalorian for what it truly is, a paper thin, shallow Star Wars clone. It just looks the part, but it hasn't yet showed me that it's playing the part. I think it might get there because again, Filoni's a little bit involved, mostly Jon Favreau, who's a big George Lucas fan and friend. I think that he gets it. And so I think they're going to have kind of honed the craft. And they got the technology and the look down in the first season, but now they got to get to the story. They have to get to the meat of Star Wars, something that the sequel trilogy, I hate to call it that, the Disney trilogy didn't really get to. They didn't get to the heart of Star Wars. And I think that they can eventually get there with The Mandalorian. And so anyway, that's my feeling. That's some Star Wars stuff. Feels good to talk Star Wars right now, given the world right now. What's your most favorite moment in all of the Star Wars movies? My favorite moment, without question. Who asked that? Kieran asked me. My favorite Star Wars moment, easy. It's actually what's tattooed on me. And that's when Luke throws his lightsaber down and says, "You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me." That's the quote. It says, "I am a Jedi, like my father before me." It's hard to read on camera. Best moment ever. The best. Because he's being tempted to go to the dark side. He's being tempted to allow his father to become usurped, basically, to be killed. Like the Emperor's like, "I'll get rid of Vader here to make you my guy and come to the dark side and join me," and say, "Screw you to your father." And he's thinking about it, and he's like, he sees his broken, defeated father, the most powerful evil guy in the galaxy, crippled. Already he's a cripple, but he's crippled. His mechanical hands cut off. He can't breathe right anymore. He's dying on the ground behind him. And he looks to the Emperor. I'm almost going to get emotional. It's so good. And he says, "No, you have failed, Your Highness. You failed in your mission to corrupt me. You thought you had it, but you couldn't do it. I'm good. You have failed. I am a Jedi. I am not a Sith. I am not a servant of the dark side. I am a Jedi like my father before me." And when he says my father before me too, he has this great acting moment where he has this slight head nod back to the badass on the ground behind him, Darth Vader. And so, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And it is why George Lucas Star Wars makes me feel those things. All 6 of his movies, even though I know people don't like Attack of the Clones or whatever, but I'm sorry, those movies make me feel something because, of course, the creator gets his creation, and so he makes the best stories. The Disney movies, even the 2 I like, Force Awakens and Last Jedi, they're very, very good, and I like them a lot, but they don't really make me feel much. Last Jedi does a little bit, but they don't really get there. I think that if Rise of Skywalker was better, was good, and if it wrapped things up properly, it could have made me look back on Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and I would have been like, yeah, those are good. I do feel something now because the whole story came together. But since it fell apart at the end, it's like, I got nothing. I don't feel anything. So that's it. Star Wars, blah, blah, Star Wars. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, talking about Star Wars makes me feel good. That's part of the reason I wanted to do the stream, is not only to give you guys some entertainment, but hey, it feels good to me to talk about Star Wars. So Mandalorian was pretty good, very solid, worth watching. Yeah, I'd say it's worth watching. There's definitely nothing wrong with watching it. So what weight billions, BC, and millions? I don't know what that means. Not quite sure. My very unpopular opinion is that The Phantom Menace is the best of that trilogy. Hey, you know what? My younger brother feels the same way. I think Phantom Menace is an unsung, borderline masterpiece. People get sidetracked by like, oh, Jar Jar is annoying, or Jake Lloyd's not the best child actor, or whatever. They don't like the dialogue. Like, in any other movie, that stuff matters, but Star Wars is like unique the way it almost needs to have that stuff to be the best version of itself. And it's such a genuine and sincere movie made by a guy with an insane imagination. And I think Phantom Menace is amazing. It's not my favorite. I think Revenge of the Sith is better, but I think Phantom Menace is probably like my fourth favorite Star Wars movie. It's really great. So the world the Phantom Menace built was spectacular. I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, I think I might be wrapping up soon, talking about all sorts of stuff. Unless you guys have any other last minute things on your brain, I'll give a couple minutes here to see if anyone else has anything to talk about. And I think I'll be wrapping up. Juan says, how about a game room tour collection video? The problem is I don't really have much. I mean, my game room, this is my game room. This is my office. I work here and I do YouTube here and I play games here. I don't really have much to show off. I don't have a huge collection like a lot of other like guys on YouTube. That's not really me. I mean, I have stuff. And I have a couple rare things. Like I have a Saturn and a Jaguar CD and a Virtual Boy. But I don't have this massive game collection. I don't have a wall of games. That's just not me. So I unfortunately don't have much to show off. My game room tour is visible in every one of my videos. It's just the room behind me. So sadly, nothing exciting to share there. Fish asked me, why do I like Metroid Other M so much? I like it because even though the gameplay is very simple, maybe even too simple, it is still very fun. Okay, so it's a fun game to play. I like it because I like that they tried to make a very cinematic experience with Metroid. I think that they succeeded in making a cinematic experience and an overall story that's interesting and fits into the Metroid canon very well with Samus's history and her relationship with Adam Malkovich. The delivery of it in a lot of parts isn't good. Okay, so I agree with that part of it. I'm not going to tell you like they did it the best, but the fact that the whole story itself from beginning to end, when you look back on it, it comes together and it works well. And I like the fact that they tried to humanize Samus. They showed us how she's her own woman. She has her own thoughts. I just thought it was really cool. I like the world and the environments. I like the gameplay. I like the way you traverse the world. Yes, an analog stick would have been better, but it still is fun to play. And I like how it tried to be a 3D version of like what a Super Metroid or a Metroid Fusion is. I just think it works. I just think it comes together well enough. So whereas I would call like a Metroid Prime a 10 out of 10, I would still call Metroid Other M like an 8.2 or an 8.3 out of 10. Like, it's a really good game. It's not amazing. It's got problems, but it's really good and worth playing and worth including in your Metroid experience. So Jason says, here's $5 more. Now you can buy the Necromancer. I'll do it just for you, buddy. Just for you. Thank you so much, dude. And now I feel like I owe you $10. So I'll just buy you lunch next time you're over or whatever. Other M is a flawed masterpiece. That's a decent way to say it, Jono. I think it's a flawed, great game. Not quite a masterpiece, but it's a flawed, great game. I want Other M story ideas tried again. Yeah, Kaleido, I've said this so many times, right? Like, I think there's a foundation for a better game there with Other M. And so I want Nintendo to revisit it and just do it better. And so I think we will eventually get another third-person Metroid game, and it could end up being like really, really great. What can we expect from you in regards to Animal Crossing that your girlfriend is playing? Updates on her progress or opinions on the game? Yeah, I think, Mike, I might have her on after a week or so of playing the game and just do another chat with her and I talking, and I'll just ask her about the game, and so she can talk to me about it. It seems like you guys really enjoyed that. The video is doing way better than I expected. Um, and I'm gonna get my other mic out. I only put the one mic I have right back here because we needed room on the desk, and so the volume and the sound isn't really that great in that video, unfortunately. So I'm gonna just give us each our own microphone, and we can have it right up the way it is now because we're not going to be needing the desk space. So yeah, I'll probably bring her back on. It sounds like you guys want that. Can we see Emily trashing Rob's game room? Hey, she uses this too. Joker T says, "Where's Metroid 5? I want it so bad." Me too. I definitely think that it could happen. I think it'll eventually be a game that we see, and maybe it's going to happen this year. Hey, later, Eslo. Take it easy, man. Yeah, I'm getting ready to be done here. Yeah, I thought she might be camera shy, but she did great. Yeah, she thought that too, Brennan. I'll tell her you said that. She'll appreciate it. Because she was a little bit nervous, and I was like, it's just us hanging out and BSing. We got it. Juan Castillo says, "Don't know if you spoke on it already, but what's your take on the latest Star Wars game from EA? Yay or nay for you?" Jedi Fallen Order, it's awesome. My second favorite game of the year last year, almost my game of the year. I think you know what? I said Force Awakens is the best thing that Disney's made. It's actually probably Jedi Fallen Order. That story feels way more like George Lucas Star Wars than anything else they've done on screen. Mandalorian or any of the 5 films that they've made. And again, I like 4 of the 5 films they made. But the Jedi Fallen Order was awesome. I felt so Star Wars. It felt like Lucas wrote the game. Oh, so good. So I loved it. I'm curious what you think, but stopped by last second. Yo, Robert, what's up, man? Gaming with me. Oh my God, my buddy Robert, fellow Robert. Yeah, I'm literally going to be logging off in like 2 minutes, man. But that's cool that you stopped by for a sec, man. Hope Project M adds a leaf mode in the future. I don't know what you mean by leaf mode. Yeah, dude, Robert, haven't seen you in forever, man. You're always live streaming now, dude. I've noticed you're doing tons of live stream. I think that's really, really cool. Super cool, even. Rob and Rob collaboration, says Ian. Well, Robert and I actually did collaborate in January of 2017. I'm sure, Robert, you remember. It's actually awesome. Robert and I met in person, man. I flew out to New York and stayed with him and his family for a weekend because Nintendo invited us to go to play the Switch like 3 months before the thing came out. And so we made 2 videos talking about it after we got hands-on impressions. And Robert also, I'll tell you the crazy thing about Robert is because we got footage of a guy at the Skylanders booth, right, Robert? The Skylanders guy for Activision showing us the touchscreen on the Switch before anyone had seen it. And Robert's video with that footage blew up, and IGN even covered it on The Fix back when they used to do The Fix. Do they still do The Fix? I don't even know if they do that anymore. Yeah, Ian says he remembers. Yeah. So that was a good time. Man, that was so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, it was so funny because Naomi Kyle was hosting The Fix, and she was like, "Oh, YouTube channel Gaming with Me has this footage of this thing, and I was like, oh my God, they said Robert's name. I was sad they didn't get my footage, but I was really, really happy for Robert. It was so cool, man. It was so cool. That was a lot of fun. So much fun. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Hey, Tony, you're saying good afternoon, but I'm actually wrapping up now. Been going for almost an hour. It's been really fun to just kind of get online. I feel like hopefully it was just nice for you guys to just have a live stream going, chat about some gaming stuff or some Star Wars stuff, some real life stuff that we talked about. Yeah, Robert says, yeah, man, it's hard to believe it's been 3 years. And yeah, I try to do live streams to fill in between videos. Never forget Naomi Kyle saying my name. Yeah, man, you made it big time once Naomi Kyle said your name. That's so cool. Yeah, 3 years ago, man. That was so much fun. That was really, really cool. But yeah, bye guys. Everyone's saying bye. You guys are super nice. I really appreciate it. So yeah, this was fun. I hope the stream was enjoyable. If you missed it, I'm going to repost it just a little bit later if you want to catch it out, check it out. We did talk about some of the real life stuff going on, so maybe that'll help you feel better about what's going on in the world right now, because it's a crazy time, but I believe we will be okay. It's going to be a rough couple months, might be a rough year, but we're going to be okay. I firmly believe that. So, yeah, with that, I guess I'll just see you guys on another one sometime soon. So, bye bye.